How powerful is Chisa Kuchiba? Story. Chisa is a playable Chaos Resonator mutant in Ultraships and in Ultraship. Chisa is a conscientious and level-headed student at Forte Academy, a consultant to the Black Coasts. To her, everything can be broken down, analyzed, and resolved with the exception of human bonds. These bonds can be broken, but that very fragility is what makes them valuable. Strength. She could fight a false ruler in Onami who is comparable to Augusta, who could force Robert to transform into his Kairos form. What do I use to destroy the star? According to the UA Wiki, this is the description of the Black Necrostar black hole. The same as mentioned during the game's loading screens. The size of this black hole was calculated to be around 5m in radius, which would generate this amount of HLs equivalent to an energy of 3 foes or a large star level. So with this, she ends up with the large star level of 3 foes. She shouldn't be inferior to characters like Carlotta, who could help immobilize Leviathan along with the rest of the Rhinostite cast.
As a wound heals, is gone.
But in Nap as a Resonator, she is able to manipulate frequencies. This energy transcends and exists beyond time and space in the world of storm waves, where the frequencies of everything break down and diminish over time. Only the remnant energy is the unchanging and stable frequency energy. The remnant energy is capable of capturing events of the multiverse across time and space. The remnant energy cannot be stored or preserved unless a special mineral called Tektite is used, which simply transcending and existing beyond space and time is not necessarily considered 5D, but it is also referred to as higher dimensional energy, demonstrating its dimensional transcendence. So with that ends the complex multiversal level, or 5D. Speed. She could fight a false ruler comparable to Augusta, who could fight Leviathan, who could fight Leviathan. Who can react to faiths like Beam. Her ability to manifest light and refract it into various prism shapes. Her ability descriptions also indicated that her attacks were reflected through mirrors. So when compared to characters who surpass light, she would end up with the FTL level under twice the speed of light. She is also a 5D being and is compared to other 5D beings, so with this she ends up with the immeasurable level. Endurance. She could fight a false ruler in Onami.
Eyes of salt. Your name falls like You make me.
But she has nothing else on the scale of her strength. So with this she ends up with the complex multiversal level, or 5D. Durability. Resonators have a much higher resistance to pain and a longer lifespan than the average person. So she should be up to days. Intelligence. She has always been an outstanding student with a reputation for taking notes and formatting them like an academic paper ready for publication. Upon meeting Robert in Unami, she was able to immediately dismiss the possibility that they were among the left behind by identifying their breathing and seeing no signs of irid glow crystallization with just a glance. She possesses extensive knowledge of durable, energy-efficient technology and could repair and modify a half-open coffee pot due to its internal heating tubes still functioning, reorganize electrical grids, and add voltage stabilizers with a single glance. She could also easily identify the Fractistus equipment as frequency detectors and noted their rudimentary quality, criticizing that they appeared to have been hastily made the night before a lab demonstration and that they even lacked the most basic frequency stabilizers, so she would be a genius. Combat intelligence. She is highly skilled in the use of her Kumokiri and incorporates flexible maneuvers into her combat style, so she would be high. Skills. Superhuman physical capabilities and weapon mastery, she is highly skilled in the use of her Kumokiri and incorporates flexible maneuvers into her combat style. Weapon transformation. Able to transform his weapon into a chainsaw. Enhanced senses. Extrasensory perception, clairvoyance, information analysis, resistance negation, and reality distortion. Chi possesses an extraordinary cognitive ability to intuitively discern the structure, shape, and movement of observed objects. This manifests in the form of visible threads that cause objects to fall apart when using his forte. He can analyze the weaknesses of objects through his vision and apply precise interference to induce structural destruction upon overloading. Forte can even analyze abstract spatial structures, identifying the threads of anomalies within anomalous spaces that induce reality warping events. Space manipulation and spatiotemporal destruction. Able to trace the threads of time and space and sever them. Also able to use his forte to stabilize space, which he used to create a safe zone in a healing and restore HP using Reign of Silence and Moment of Insignificance. Force field creation. When in chainsaw mode, attacking targets with Sauron eradication grants shields to all nearby resonators on the team. Corrosion induction resistance. Soul manipulation resistance. Corruption resistance type 1, mind manipulation resistance. Insanity manipulation resistance types 2 and 3, perception manipulation resistance. Power nullification resistance, power modification resistance, and frequency manipulation resistance. Scales to characters like Carlota, who are able to resist the effects of the dark tide to a lesser degree and is able to ingest the drug created by Cantarella, which has traces of the Trinorian's frequency. To scale to Augusta, who is able to fight off and withstand the attacks of the false sovereign, who is an embodiment of the dark tide itself that can devour frequencies, as well as reshape the scattered power of its creator. The dark tide can erode the shoreline of Muffle Canyon and distort the perception of those caught within it. Understanding the corruption of the dark tide can also affect the mind and soul. Existential erasure resistance type 2 and 3. As a result of being a student at Star Torch Academy, Chisa possesses a frequency cassette recorder that grants her heightened resistance to the Void Storms. Void Storms. The Void Storms are a unique phenomenon of wave erosion that dissolves all matter and existence within its range, including frequencies. Anything that is engulfed by the Void Storm slowly loses its existence until it is completely forgotten. Even the fact that the person died is also erased if the cassette is erased as well. This is why Amy could not remember her parents after their deaths, and even the memory of forgetting them eventually faded from her mind. Longevity. Resonators have a much higher resistance to pain and a longer lifespan than the average person. Biological manipulation and subjective reality. A resonator exhibits unique resonance abilities, also known as their strengths, through the TFET branding on their bodies. According to experts, a resonator's abilities are often influenced by their past experiences and a subconscious mind. Vorshik mode, empowerment, empathic manipulation, mind manipulation, and stat amplification. Excessive use of power or obsession can overtax a resonator's mind and strength, leading to overload. Metamorphosis, stat amplification, absorption, and power mimicry. Terminals allow resonators to collect and record reverberations, converting them into echoes that allow resonators to replicate the combat abilities of echoes. Additionally, they allow resonators to briefly transform into the forms of stored tet discords, for example. Thus can transform into a powerful echo that takes the form of Capitanius. Energy manipulation, information manipulation type 2, macro-quantum matter manipulation, and sound manipulation, Wave phenomena are believed to alter matter, information, and energy, transforming them into vibrational frequencies called reverberations. Everything within the universe of storm waves is composed of frequencies, as they are the essence of all things. Reality manipulation. In Solaris 3, frequencies serve as a crucial tool in uncovering the truth about reality. By altering these frequencies, one can delve into the very core of existence. Elemental manipulation. Resonators are individuals with the ability to resonate with certain objects and manipulate their frequencies, and this is where the elemental manipulation of the 6 attributes present in the game comes from. Conceptual damage, conceptual destruction, existential erasure, type 4, non-physical interaction, conceptual level. Carlota could interact with her mirror self, which exists as an abstraction and product of Carlota's own memories, desires, and fantasies. Siakona and Robert are capable of fighting demons, which are beings that only exist in the imagination. Rolla could physically enter a painting and create a sonorous sphere that Robert, Carlota, and Rosa were able to enter and interact with. Pocket reality manipulation, space-time manipulation, subjective reality, law manipulation, power mimicry, retrocognition, memory manipulation, and mind manipulation. Sonorous spheres are transdimensional spaces where remnant energy abounds. A simple touch of the mirror was enough to instantly extract Carlota's memories, experiences, and even fleeting thoughts, creating a sonorous sex. Carlota's mirror self is a product of Carlota's own memories, desires, and fantasies. Being able to turn sonorous into her domain, and due to the nature of the frequencies, she was immune to all harm from Carlota and her forte. With Carlota's strong ability that allows her to collapse and disintegrate frequencies, with Cristoforo being able to make sound, rewriting reality itself, capable of erasing the existence and roles of people within the sound, and he was even going to superimpose the sound directly over reality, over reality. That would be all. Here, I leave you his character sheet.
Can't believe it again.
And if the sky is split in two, I follow your trail, I follow your voice. I don't want promises, only you to cross your name burning on that blade. On the shore, I hear you pass by, eyes of salt, metal step, your name falls like a crystal, you make me tremble. You carry the pulse of the sea in your skin, you break the calm without asking permission, and when you turn, everything turns back again, and I get lost inside your warning. Lift me up higher, don't let me fall. The time is coming. Your light calls to me from the edge, and I get closer. Cheap blade.
Again?
Well, moving on to the comparison. SCP-127, the living weapon, doesn't stand a chance. SCP-983, the birthday monkey, won't attack him unless it's his birthday, but even if we assume it is, he could just destroy SCP-983 much sooner due to the huge difference in speed. Goku Jr. has no chance. Pamela Boris, no need to explain. Gostais Nasalua, no matter how hard he tries, he can't do anything. Ife's Hill Roberts is the same as the previous position. Ghost is Rich Kier. I don't see any way he can win. Disty Killer Remake 2015 is the same as all the other killers. Ghost Effie and Lois, more of the same. Ghost Ferrero would be dead just by his presence. The Joker won't be so lucky this time. Sarai Walker has nothing to gain. Gosis, Mike, and Alkiwi are the same as the rest of their teammates. Mechanical Totobi has nothing to gain. Gostais Roman Bringer, even with the help of all the other Jis, wouldn't stand a chance. SCP, the Dream Killer. No matter how hard he tries, you won't be able to scratch him. S. Williams, not even his animatronics will save him. He's Jack Cannon, although much faster than everyone else, he's still a turtle. Foxy, even with the help of all the other animatronics, wouldn't stand a chance, wouldn't. Goku Jr., even in Super Saiyan, Yahin wouldn't have a chance. Def the Killer from his original creepypasta doesn't stand a chance. IT 2017 is destroyed at an atomic level. IT in his spider form. If normal humans could defeat him, what wouldn't happen to him? William Tom Fat Freddy movie, he has no way of winning. Slenderman movie. Although due to his intangibility, he might have a chance before he activates it, he'll already be dead due to the huge difference in speed. SCP-P-070 Iron Wings is inferior in every way. Def the Killer AMV, he's the same as his other versions. The creepypasta will be dead before he knows it. Said. Homicidal you. Ghostface Stoomer from level 101 doesn't have the slightest chance of winning. Ezekiel Sims from Earth 680 has nothing to win. Jeff the Killer, although much more resilient, that won't save him. Ian wouldn't find a way to win in a million years. Or chronological Jeff the Killer, although much faster, still has nothing to do. Eel is cannon-jacking, although thanks to his immortality, he could hold on a bit sooner or later he will die. Bye. SCP-028, the aquatic horror, is destroyed. Spider-Man from Earth 835 will be erased with his entire universe. Goku from the Pala Saga Dragon Ball manga, he has no way of winning. Goku from the 21 Saga Martial Arts Tournament Dragon Ball manga, he is the same as the previous position. Inugasai human form, Mira Nikimanga, she is finished. SCP-81, the Swamp Woman, has great power but her lack of speed and she is condemned. Dante from Free Fire has nothing to win. Superman 3rd from Earth 2020, not even. With his entire family, would he win? Spider-Man from Earth 70,019 is the same as Subversion from Earth 8351. Stolas could not win even with the help of all his verse in composite talk. Goku from the Red Patrol Saga Dragon Ball manga, even adding the power of all the previous ones, he has no chance. Goku from the Urana and Baba Tournament Saga Dragon Ball manga, he is the same as his previous version. Goro Human Punch Man manga is lost. Iron Man Mark 1 from Earth 1999. If a fall has already destroyed his suit completely, what would it do? Elsa from Frozen has no chance. Goro Semi-Monster Punch Man manga is destroyed. Superman Batman from Dark Knight Returns movie from Earth 31 finds his end. Loy Lane, the Eradicator. Not even with the help of his Superman would he have a chance. Thor from Earth has no way of winning. Superman from the 2019 novel Superman the Breaker, he has no chance. Art doesn't have the slightest chance of winning. Even if we added up all the powers of all the characters in Genshin Impact, he would still be unable to do absolutely anything to win. Yubu Prevolum Shumatsu no Valkyrie manga would be annihilated in a single move. Joki from Earth 199, with all his arrows, would have a way of even tickling him. Iron Man Mark II from Earth 199,900. Although much faster, he still has no chance. Crazy. Brian can't even touch him. Tatsumaki One Punch Man manga. Even with all his verse, he wouldn't find a way to win. SCP-466 will be punished for his actions. Homelander comic. Although far superior in power, his lack of speed, axe, and durability condemn him. Han has no chance. Borusu One Punch Man manga will kill himself by using his meteor form before doing anything to him. Goro Monster, although a little stronger, still can't do anything. Rex Blot Invincible comic. Not even using a composite version would he have a chance to win. It's from the Mega Kill manga attack. Despite being the most powerful character in his entire verse, even with all of this help, he wouldn't have the slightest chance of winning. Seriously, not even in composite would he find a way to win. In Uzumaki Naruto manga, not even with the support of all his teammates would he have the slightest chance of winning. Godzilla from 1954, if it were one of his later versions, he would probably have a chance, but unfortunately, in his time, he hadn't shown anything to win. He hadn't shown anything. And Jujutsu in manga doesn't have the strength or speed to win. Superman First from Earth 2020 is just a joke. Ben from Earth 688 only has his abilities that would be of no use to him. Tarago. Quicksilver from Earth, the RN 414, although much faster, he still has nothing to do. Morbius from Earth 688 has nothing, literally. SCP-063, the best brush in the world. He has no way of winning. SCP-409, the contagious crystal. Although good power, his terrible speed plays a trick on him. Dr. Manhattan from the Watman comic is disappointing. The Red Demon Nanatsu no Taizai manga, even with his entire race, he would not win. SCP-2845, the deer. The deer has nothing, only his transmutation that would be useless due to the difference in speed. Vegeta Saga Saiyan, even with his transformation, would not scratch him. Sasori Naruto manga, even with all his puppets and stolen abilities, would have no way of winning, Jiraiya Naruto manga. Although his great variety of abilities would help him a little, none are powerful enough to win. Enten Nanami Jujutsu Kaisen manga has nothing to win, even if we assume that he can use the Black Flash at will, which increases his power 2.5 times, he still doesn't have the slightest chance of winning. Red Hole from Earth 199. Even bringing together every Hulk from the MCU, they'd still be utterly incapable of harming him. Quicksilver from Earth 199,999. Even in terms of speed, he would have something to do. Metromanum. He only has his speed, which would be useless to SCP-169. Leviathan in his avatar state wouldn't even be able to do anything to him. Meliodas, first season in his base state, Natsu no Te manga, has no chance of winning. Prepurgatory Nanatsu no Tai manga. He will be destroyed in an instant. Superman, My Adventures with Superman from 2023 from Earth 3 from Earth 12, he wouldn't win even with his entire verse. Wow Saga, it goes without saying. Riley, he's just like his creation. He'll receive his punishment. Meliodas, first season in his state with the demonic mark Natsuoda. He's still the same as his base state. Meliodas, first season in his Berserna state, Natsu no Tai manga. Although massively faster, he still has no way of winning. Superman Kurgan series from 1948, it's super easy to erase. Old Superman, although good speed, still has no way of winning. Career Sagan Dragon Ball Z manga, he's the same as Vegeta. Superman Star movie from Earth Q has nothing to win. Superman Star comic from Earth Q still has no way of damaging him. SCP-079 wouldn't even scratch him. Meliodas post-ruined second season Nanatsu no Tai manga. If he can't beat Galant, much less this guy. Glint of Truth Nanatsu no Tai manga. Even in composite, he would have no way of winning. SCP-123 miniature black hole? It would be nothing. Something. Superman Red Sun movie from Earth 30 would be easily annihilated. Galactus from Earth 717, even with the help of all his heralds, he would have no chance. Superman. The Adventures of Superman from 1952 would be easily annihilated. Meliodas Postuidas Season 2 with demonic mark Nanatsu no Tai manga. He has no chance of winning, not even using all his powers and abilities granted by the demonic mark. He is close to winning. Superman Nicolas Cage. I don't see how he can do anything. SCP-179 Sayo Suesor. Even adding the power of all the previous ones would have nothing to do. Meliodas post-revive second season Nanatsu no Tai manga. Not even in this form would he have the slightest chance of winning against this guy. SCP-017, the Shadow Man in his avatar state, will disappear in an instant. SCP-Fluffy-91 to the Fallen Star. The only redeeming feature he has is his speed, but without that he would be useless. Jeff the Killer, Insulation, and Obsession, a single attack would be enough. Dante from the 2025 Netflix series. Even with all his verse, he would not stand a chance. The Plasma Pea Shooter has no chance. Super Perfect Cell. If he saw his regeneration would help him survive, sooner or later he would die. Cosmic Giru Punchman manga. Although Porks might have a chance, the difference in speed prevents him from being able to use them. Meliodas Desert revived with demonic mark second season Nanatsuota manga Aiga. This one, like all his other previous versions, even with all his abilities and speed, he couldn't do anything to try to win. Michelino wouldn't be a threat even in composite. Sonic Studio Bean in Macau. Although Porex would give him some problems, he still has no way to damage him. Galactus of Earth 7642, he is erased with a finger heel. Flash DCU of Earth 1, no matter what he does, he won't be able to win. Superman DCU of Earth 1 is the same as all the previous ones. Superman DCU of Earth 1 is the same as his other versions. Shangi of Earth 19909. To win or even fight. Sentry of Earth 21119 couldn't do absolutely anything. SCP-6004, the Alquiri Serpent, although absurdly more powerful in terms of speed, has nothing to do. Commissions Avanzo has no way of winning. Yet B, even with all his verse, would have no chance. Super Shenguan, Dragon Ball, Super Manga. They have nothing to win. Anthony Star of Earth 9810 will be erased, with his entire universe. All of Earth 688, even with the help of all the symbiotics, would have no chance. Galactus of Earth 8228 is erased at an atomic level. Sonic the movie has no way of winning. Supersonic the movie, this is the same as his base form. Zalgo has nothing to win or even put up a fight. Dr. FDC of Earth 1, even with all his verse, he would have no chance. Alien 10th, not even with his finest verses could he win. Isaac of Kraken Saint Seiyanga has nothing to win. More Deathface Saint Seiyanga has not the slightest chance of winning. Aphrodite of Pistis Samunga. Seriously, I have to explain this. Leo Saint Seiya's Aulia is the one with the most Deathface. Aquarius Saint Seiya's Akemu is destroyed. Moody Saint Seiyanga doesn't stand a chance. Capricorn Saint Seiyanga Shura wouldn't stand a chance, even with the help of all his teammates, Seiyangamates. Taurus Saint Seiya's Baran is just a joke. Scorpio Saint Seiyanga's Milo is destroyed in every way. Whereon Saint Seiyaga's Radamanthus, not even with all his verse would he have any way of winning. Virgo Saint Seiyaga's Shaka, not even adding the power of all the previous characters would he have a chance. Sagittarius Saint Seiyaga's Oros are the same as all his teammates. SCP-435, the World Destroyer of Minecraft, will be destroyed like nothing. Dormammu of Earth 199,000. Although incredibly powerful, he still has no way of winning. God interviews God. Although extremely powerful, I don't see any way he can win, although they would recognize his incredible power. Medor. Final Destination. Even with all his abilities, he wouldn't have any way to kill his target. This time, Yuno Gasai forms a goddess, Mira and Nikimanga. Even then, he wouldn't have a chance. Godzilla, and he would be nothing. Maishito Jujutsu Kaisen manga. He couldn't do anything to him due to the difference in speed and dimensionality. Century of Earth 1999. If it were a subversion of the comics, maybe he would have something to do. The Void of Earth 199. Even then, he couldn't do anything. Destroying him and his entire dimension would be nothing more than a joke. The Guardian of Time creepypasta. While Porex could give him problems, they are useless again due to the difference in dimensionality. Zombie Spider-Man of Earth 2149. Not even with the help of all the zombies would he win. Dardale of Earth 616 and High BC. No matter what he tries, he won't be able to win. Captain America of Earth 6116. Although much faster, he still can't do anything. Ree Richards of Earth 6116. Although massively more intelligent than all previous Marvel characters, that will be of little use to him against an opponent who far surpasses him in all other statistics. Bot Edge of Earth 616, he will be destroyed. In a single blow. Batman Who Laughs of Earth -22. Although good skills and intelligence, he has no possible way of winning. He has no possible way. Galactus Zombie of Earth 2149. He is the same as all the previous ones. Yuma Rover of Earth 2. Even with all his speed, he would not stand a chance. Abatarda Laughing of Earth 1 would be annihilated with all the other Flash villains. Ultron Infinite of Earth 2929 would be annihilated easily. Slenderman Mythos. Although better than him, they couldn't affect him because of their different dimensionality. Prometheus Shumatsu no Valkyr manga does not have the slightest chance of winning. Since the River Shimatsu no Valkyr manga has no way of winning, Grand Order's fake King David, although a great character, unfortunately has no chance of winning due to the overwhelming difference in stats. Adam Shimatsu no Valkyr manga is the same as the rest of his children. Zushimatsu no Valkyr manga, even with the help of all the Greek gods, he wouldn't have a chance. Adesa Shimatsu no Valkyr manga is still not at the same level. Nikola Tesla Shimatsu no Valkyra manga is only slightly faster, so he still wouldn't be able to do anything. The Pegut Shimatsu no Valkyr manga, although with better AC, still can't do anything. A Detrol only has A but nothing else. Phil Creepasta has no chance of winning. Fear Creepypasta, he's exactly the same as the previous one. Maria Arusria Live. Even adding the stats of all the previous characters, he would have no way of winning. Tokeya Togami Date, although extremely powerful, has no way of winning. Zonto Waves, although extremely powerful, would have no way of winning this fight even using his transformation. Cool. A good one directly.
Yeah.
And one far surpasses beings like Chisa.
You make me tremble.
You carry the pulse of the sea in your skin. You break the calm without asking permission. And when you turn, everything turns around again. And I get lost inside your warning.
Lift me up higher!
Don't let me fall. The waves come in.
Your light calls me from the edge and I get closer. Kuchiba go.
Again. If that kuchiba.
Cultivates my world with about your Siva with magma. Guess I don't believe it again. And
You have a storm in your voice when you speak, and a thread of gold crossing your walk. I follow your signal like someone who follows a wound as it heals. In me, you go ahead, you cut night with a single flash. I stay right in your current with my heart beating in my neck. The wave's coming and I want to see it. Your light calls me from the edge and I get closer.
I listened.
Again.